When everything was in order, as the famous figures from all over gathered, each person brought their own distinct aura, enough to show that this was not a party for ordinary people. Mr. Qin sat in the position of honor, his demeanor calm yet dignified. Everyone, it is a great honor that you have taken some of your valuable time to be here today. At that moment, Park Jung-jae entered the stage right on time. He commanded his assistant to go straight to Mr. Qin and started to perform. Mr. Qin, it is an honor to meet you. Today, I bring an ancient painting. I heard that you and the esteemed predecessors here are masters in appraisal, so I hope you can help me determine its authenticity. Mr. Qin raised an eyebrow, showing interest. Oh, in that case, let's open it and see. I also want to see what ancient painting has kept you so preoccupied. The assistant wasted no time and carefully opened the painting, revealing a landscape depiction, the ancient ink strokes delicate and intricate as if they were about to spill off the paper. Please take a look. This is the painting Spring Flowers Moon Night, said to have once belonged to a famous Ming Dynasty painter. When the painting was unveiled, all eyes were drawn to the artwork that had just been revealed on the table. A classic piece of art covered in a layer of dust from time, making everyone feel as if they were witnessing a priceless treasure. An old man in the crowd exclaimed, his eyes shining brightly as if he had just found treasure. Isn't this 100 Birds paying homage to the Phoenix by Tang Shen? But immediately someone else spoke up. Hold on, I've heard that 100 Birds paying homage to the Phoenix was actually destroyed during the Ming Dynasty. Could this be a fake? Qin Tian Fang, with the demeanor of an antique master, examined the painting through a magnifying glass, then exhaled with a flourish. No, look here, this paper is made from ephedra. The color is a natural dark yellow, both ancient and sturdy. The surface is smooth, but not artificially glossy. It's definitely an antique. Another person interjected, not wanting to be left out in the critique. That's right. This paper is not only resistant to insects, but also to water. The colors are natural, and the brushwork is exactly in the style of Tang Shen. Even without a signature, just looking at its presence, it's undoubtedly authentic. Mr. Qin continued, his expression serious. This could be a draft sketch by Tang Shen, not the original, but if it is indeed his authentic handwriting, its value must be calculated in the hundreds of millions of dollars or more. His statement served as a confirmation from Qin Tian Fang, causing the entire hall to buzz. Yes, look closely at the ink strokes, both soft and decisive, with areas of darkness and lightness, just like the rhythm of a piece of music. Not everyone can draw this well. If it's not Tang Shen, it must be a great artist of the same era. But to be more certain, we need further verification from experts. If this truly is Tang Shen's rough draft, then it is not just a work of art, but also a historical treasure, whose value cannot be measured only in money. While several senior antiques experts had eyes shining like car headlights and were excitedly gesturing, Park Jung-jae stood silently, a smirk playing on his lips, half disdainful and half satisfied. Is this the authoritative appraiser from Boxera? It seems that's all there is to it. I know that this painting is a fake, merely a seb, and the reason I know is that the authentic 100 Birds paying homage to the Phoenix is firmly in my hands, like a trump card. But life is not that easy. Someone suddenly chimed in with a tone tinged with mockery. This painting is authentic, but it is not Tang Shen's, and none other than Shen Yuan with a relaxed stride and an air of confidence. Park Jung-jae stood there, his face drained of blood, his heart only knowing how to scream. Again with him, just when I was about to step in and show off, this kid snatched the stage. At that moment, all eyes turned to Shen Yuan. Some gaped, while others frowned in disbelief. Mr. Shi immediately retorted, "Young man, on what basis do you dare to say that? Do you even know that I have dedicated my life to studying ancient paintings?" It was this kid again. Everywhere from Go to ancient paintings, what is he? Could he possibly understand more than I do? Shen Yuan chuckled lightly, his expression radiating the composure of a top player. Tang Shen. No, it's not. This is the work of a lesser-known but highly regarded painter within the antique community. Stay King Yu, the most outstanding student of Tang Shen. With that, Shen Yuan snapped his fingers for the server to prepare the items. Everyone stared at Shen Yuan, unsure of what he was about to do. As soon as Shen Yuan cut the edge of the painting, everyone felt the blood in their veins boil. Mr. Qin was so angry, he nearly spat blood. Damn it, Shen Yuan, does he dare to ruin an artifact in front of me? The antique seniors turned pale as if they themselves had just torn a piece of their soul, but Shen Yuan didn't care. He continued to carefully cut the edge of the painting. In an instant, the entire hall seemed to explode as another painting slowly revealed itself, completely new, sharp enough to make everyone's eyes widen. Mr. Qin, who had been furious, now looked like stone. Oh shit, what is this? How did you discover it? This tin painting is even more beautiful than the one outside. Chen Yuan explained, smiling slightly, "It's nothing extraordinary. If you look closely at this outer layer of paint, you'll see the colors are uneven and the cracks are irregular. That's a sign that there's another layer hidden underneath." In that moment, the entire room erupted with admiration as everyone looked at Chen Yuan in reverence. But Chen Yuan's assertion was like a death blow to Park Jung-jae's perfect plan, and he could only grit his teeth, his face ashen. How can this kid be so talented? He's ruining all my plans. The entire auditorium felt like it was doused with a cold bucket of water, yet it was instantly evaporated by the visual shock. Everyone gasped and widened their eyes at the painting hidden within the painting. Reclining amidst the vast landscape scroll of mountains and rivers, isn't that a work that has been lost for hundreds of years? One person in the auditorium exclaimed, surprise. So it turns out the painting outside was just a shell to protect the treasure inside. Another person exclaimed, eyes glued to the artwork. Chen Yuan nodded as if he were a lecturer who had just posed the perfect question to his students. That's right, the artist back then intentionally painted a false covering to throw people off. Who would have guessed that you, in a later generation, would not only be spectacularly deceived, but also manage to preserve the treasure until today? The genius lies not only in the painting, but also in the way it was protected. Mr. Qin stood frozen for a few seconds, then spun around like a child seeing a new toy. This kid is no ordinary person, he said, his eyes shining brightly. I've lived to this age, and today I've truly been given a lesson I'll never forget. Reclining amidst the vast landscape scroll of mountains and rivers even has a marked signature, undeniable evidence that this is indeed the handwriting of Tang Taizong Lai Shimin. A few antique experts also gathered to admire the painting, discussing and expressing their admiration. Look at the colors and brushwork. This is the real Tang Shen. Wow, this reclining amidst the vast landscape scroll of mountains and rivers must be worth a fortune. Who would have thought it would appear right here at this moment? As for me, I felt a sense of deja vu as if I were watching a performance with this young man as the main character. Mr. Qin, although still angry with Chen Yuan over the game of Go, had to admit, young man, this time I must concede to you. Not only are your Go skills impressive, but your discerning eye is also rare. You truly are a unique talent, but how did you discover this? Chen Yuan maintained his usual demeanor, calmly replying, it's nothing extraordinary, just a slightly keener eye. If there is anything more precious than this painting, it is the moment you all are astonished. Moreover, the paper of the painting is so exquisite that it makes me suspect it serves as a cover for something even more important. The antique experts here were also enjoying the view, rushing to Assistant Park Jung-jae to negotiate. $500 million, I buy. I offer $700 million, $1 billion. No one should think about robbing it from me. As the tension peaked, Mr. Qin stepped forward and announced loudly, all right, everyone, this gentleman has stated that it's a gift. Who dares to determine its worth? Clearly, it was Chen Yuan who discovered the hidden painting within the painting, so the ownership naturally belongs to him. This declaration struck down all hopes for those raising their hands to bid billions like a decisive hammer. Assistant Park Jung-jae brought the painting over, now only able to force a smile, not daring to refute. Right. I did say it was a gift. After saying this, he even patted his forehead, showing a semblance of embarrassment, but everyone could clearly see the regret he couldn't contain in his eyes. Ha, I really didn't expect such a masterpiece to be hidden in this painting. The antique tycoons took turns bidding from several hundred million to over 1 billion, but Chen Yuan outright refused all. The most shocking moment was when he declared that he was giving this painting as a birthday gift to Mr. Qin, causing the entire room to explode in astonishment. A person has generously donated a treasure valued at $1.2 billion. That's indeed a big move. Mr. Qin, already impressed, hesitated. This kid really knows how to win me over, but I can't accept such a significant treasure. Chen Yuan just smiled slightly, his tone full of confidence. Mr. Qin, the most valuable treasure of yours is not this painting, but your granddaughter. This is just a token of appreciation from the next generation. Please don't be too polite. Kid Wu Shuang, standing nearby, listened while blushing. Oh my God, this is truly the love of my life. A man who is handsome, intelligent, and knows how to be respectful. If I don't snag him, it would be a waste of my youth. He gave a precious gift to my grandfather. It must be a bride price. He loves me. Her thoughts were soaring, combined with a bit of excitement, making her favor level rise. Qin Wu Shuang's favor level increased by 1, current favor level 99 points. Kang, the system target Qin Wu Shuang, conquered by the master's outstanding skills, stemming from inner admiration, favor level breaks through 99 points, reward plus 10 enhancement points. There are still 70 enhancement points remaining. Park Jung-jae stood there so angry that his face turned bright red, but he still tried to stay calm and spoke to his assistant. Damn, it turns out that I didn't come here today to attend a party, but to be a witness for his show. Hey, Put my name on the list for a $100 billion sponsorship for the Chin family immediately. Today, I don't believe I can't overshadow that brat's momentum. Not only Chin Wushuang, but even Kan Ge-eon couldn't help but feel admiration. Kan Ge-eon's favorite level increased by 10, her current favorite level at 80 points. Today, she came to attend Mr. Kin's birthday celebration with the demeanor of a cold CEO. But unexpectedly, among a group of talented young people, Chen Yuan appeared like a dazzling light, drawing her in irresistibly. Oh my gosh, the boss is amazing, outstanding. My boss is not only great at business, his Go skills are exceptional. And now, he also has deep knowledge of antiques and calligraphy. Is this the upgraded version of the protagonist in a novel? He truly was born to overshadow every other brilliance. Thinking of this, Kan Ge-eon was in a tangle. Reflecting on the old days, she couldn't help but feel a jolt, a hint of insecurity in her heart. Back then, I was truly brainwashed by Lai Jia Mu. He only needed to pretend to care a little for me to naively think he was the only one. Looking back now, why didn't I value myself instead? Indeed, the god doesn't take everything from anyone. Luckily, I still have the chance to start over. But would the boss accept that? He's too perfect, and I'm no longer the naive girl I once was. But whatever, I'll give it a try. Who knows? The boss might like a strong and independent girl like me. But before I could sigh again, the familiar voices of Simon Ding Ding and Simon Nana rang out like the northeast monsoon. Sister, I swear, if Lim Yong Won flirts with me, I would be willing to turn into a fish right away. If he were my boyfriend, don't even mention throwing money. He only needs to give me a glance, and I'm ready to give everything. After finishing her sentence, Simon Ding Ding even licked her lips, as if eyeing a rare prey in the wild. Kan Ge-eon stood listening and felt faint. Simon Nana, not wanting to back down, said, "That's right, Ding Ding, but this time we have to team up. Next to Lim Yong Won, there are dozens of world-class beauties. If we go in separately, we'll just be background." At first, it seemed like this sister was being modest, but the younger sister quickly added with confidence, "But hey, we're the only twins. Combined, no one can compete with us." Kan Ge-eon, standing behind, almost choked on hearing the two sisters' schemes. These two girls have completely lost their shame, ready to sacrifice their self-respect to compete for handsome guys, even plotting to advance together like they were going to battle, not seeking love. Yet the week before, Simon Ding Ding was still hand in hand with the young master of the Ma family. The young master had just bought an entire villa as a gift, and now he turned his back so quickly. Changing your lover is like changing clothes. This speed is like attaching a jet engine to your body. It was no joke. Just a moment later, the two sisters, Simon Nana and Simon Ding Ding, gracefully made their way towards Shen Yun. Each held a glass of champagne, walking elegantly as if they were on a Paris fashion runway. Mr. Lim Yum Wong. Simon Nana was the first to speak. Her voice was as sweet as sugar, accompanied by a touch of shyness. "Mr. Lim Yum Wong, I hope the parking situation earlier wasn't too inconvenient for you. Please don't take it to heart. By the way, let me introduce myself. I am Simon Nana. It's a pleasure to meet you." Before Chen Yuan could respond, Simon Ding Ding chimed in with a teasing tone, leaving no room for others. "Mr. Lim Yong Won, you are truly amazing. I'm a huge fan of yours. I'm Simon Ding Ding. May I invite you to this glass of champagne?" Though Chen Yuan felt a bit confused inside, suspecting something dubious was going on, he couldn't bring himself to embarrass the girls in such a public place. Furthermore, they were genuinely enthusiastic. In the end, he put on a serious face, nodded lightly, and smiled as he raised his glass of champagne, clinking it lightly as a formality. Sure, everything seemed to be fine until Simon Nana suddenly and nimbly slipped a small piece of paper into Chen Yuan's pocket. As soon as he turned around before he could recover, Simon Ding Ding did the exact same thing. Her hands moved swiftly, and her actions were so practiced that Chen Yuan didn't have time to react. Afterward, the two sisters greeted Chen Yuan with the sweetest smile possible and gracefully walked away as if there had never been a farewell. Chen Yuan knew that these two girls were certainly up to something, but he was still curious and pulled out the two pieces of paper to see. The contents inside took him by surprise. "Brother Lim Yong Won, Royal Hotel, tonight room 1608. I will be waiting for you. Simon Nana." The second note was identical, just signed by Simon Ding Ding. "Brother Lim Yong Won, Royal Hotel, tonight room 1608. I will be waiting for you. Simon Ding Ding." Holding two pieces of paper in his hands, Chen Yuan stood still for a few seconds. He looked back and forth, double-checking the room number to be sure. The result was indeed the same room, no mistake about it. Dan, what is happening here? These two sisters are truly something else. It turns out that not only did they invite me for drinks, but the two girls also prepared a collaboration script to pull me into a battle of some sort. It's not a new tactic, but it's full of surprises. When it comes to the speed of their moves, they could definitely claim the title of kings in the hunting world. But what I didn't expect was that both of them actually booked the same room. It's unclear whether they genuinely plan to share or if this is just a trick to confuse me and fall into their trap. Shen Yuan's mind began to speculate, and once he starts, there's no keeping up with him. Could it be that the girls in Madu are all this bold, or is this a modern way of greeting? People often say that what comes easily is usually of poor quality. There are many alluring girls waiting for me to flirt with. Why should I get involved with those who come right to my door? They definitely aren't trustworthy. But do they really need to be so enthusiastic to book the same room? Too suspicious. No, this is definitely a trap. It's possible that these two are assassins from some mysterious organization. They must be from the Darknet, right? The Darknet must have sent them here. But isn't the Darknet being replaced by shadowing now? They must have switched to offline tactics because they know they can't take me down online. But what do you think, intending to use your beauty to tempt me? This is too disrespectful. Life is long, and there are many girls out there. No one can deceive Shen Yuan. As soon as the thought was finished, Shen Yuan crumpled the 2 sheets of paper into a round ball, lightly tossed it into the trash can, and walked away with confidence. In a hidden corner, Yi-Han silently observed every move he made. Whether intentionally or not, Yi-Han's gaze remained fixed on Shen Yuan, as if afraid to miss any interesting moment. Then the opportunity came. When Shen Yuan turned away, she quickly picked up the 2 sheets of paper and opened them to read. But before she could finish the first line, Yi-Han's face turned as red as if someone had shone a floodlight on her. Before she could recover from the shock, she read the second sheet, with each line making her feel nauseous. In her mind, it felt like thunder was crashing, accompanied by a voiceless scream. Oh my god, these 2 Simon sisters are really crazy. Yi-Han took a deep breath, trying to control her frustration. In her mind, she fast-forwarded through countless scenarios and then wondered. These 2 shameless women. Just a few days ago, I saw Simon Ding Ding flirting with my cousin Yi-Sam. Didn't they say those 2 were involved? And now, she dares to openly flirt with Shen Yuan, even sending him the hotel address. Yi-Han continued to think angrily. And Xivan Nana, the elegant and gentle sister that everyone praises, isn't she involved with young Master Wan? Ha! And now they're planning to share a room together? It's truly rare for 2 sisters to be such shameless, completely breaking every definition of decency. Yi-Han paused for a moment and then thought, so what will Shen Yuan do now? This trap is indeed clever, considering they're twins. A normal man would certainly struggle with his thoughts because basically, no one can resist such a beautiful pair of sisters. But will Shen Yuan fall for it? Can he hold back against this allure? No, this needs to be clarified. If he really does this, I need to ask him directly. The more she thought about it, the more confused she felt. Part of her was uneasy, while another part half wanted to see how Shen Yuan would handle this situation. In the end, Yi-Han decided to become a volunteer investigator for Shen Yuan. While Shen Yuan was still deep in thought, Park Jung-jae, who was usually the center of the universe, was now filled with frustration, both jealous and helpless. He was so angry that he wanted to tear his shirt and secretly cursed. What the hell is going on? A group of stunning beauties with perfect figures, beautiful faces, and glamorous dresses kept flocking over, chattering, and flattering Shen Yuan. Even the twins, whom I had always been fond of, secretly slipped Shen Yuan a small note. This made my heart feel like it was being squeezed by someone. Clearly, the Samsung prince, who was always admired like the morning sun, had to endure being overlooked mercilessly today. At this moment, the assistant, who always played the role of the strategist, spoke up with a plan to break the oppressive atmosphere. Boss, don't rush. Today I've arranged a chance for you to shine. There will be a calligraphy competition in the hall, and I've bribed the moderator to invite you to participate. This is your fort, an area where no one can compare to you. Once you pick up the brush and write a few strokes of dragons and phoenixes, the entire hall will be amazed. Especially those girls over there, including the Simon sisters, will definitely look at you with admiring eyes, forgetting all about Shen Yuan instantly. Upon hearing this, Park Jung-jae felt somewhat soothed, his heart calming down a bit. He told himself, that's right, calligraphy is my ultimate weapon. A person as talented and of noble birth as I am, how could I possibly lose to someone like Shen Yuan? As long as I perform a truly impressive display, all eyes will be on me again. Just wait, later not only those girls, but even Yi-Han will have to look at me differently. Park Jung-jae stood there, his lips curling into a self-satisfied smile. He muttered, Shen Yuan, let's see how long you can be so pleased with yourself.